Bitcoin has just completed its largest, most gargantuan bull market indicator for the very first time since May of 2019. As bears are licking their lips at the opportunity to crush the Moon Boys and slurp them dry for the very first time since 2023 began. But there is one mega big reason to keep your eyes peeled, your nose blown, your belly button red and inflamed, and it's absolutely not why you think it is. Right now, the Bitcoin bulls are in a sort of no man's land as we continue to trade deep, extremely deep within the bone zone after spending the last couple of weeks inching and swinching and trying to get above it. But we're going to be talking about these Bitcoin charts and, more importantly, something else that will affect Bitcoin's price. Not to mention, in just moments, we will within just hours, the countdown has begun. We'll be getting a FOMC meeting, which potentially marks the very last rate hike in the U.S. Potentially. We will see what happens. If Jerome Powell himself is hawkish, is he dovish? Do they plan on increasing rates even further? As some actual breaking news about these rates also has been released. And if you're interested in trading these markets for a limited time, get the bonuses linked in the description below. And without any further ado, let's dump into what surely will be just a very big webisode as we kick off this new week. So I want to start off taking a look at this. Rates are ripping pre-FOMC meeting that we just mentioned here. Potentially, TED Talks Macro is hinting at here, the market participants think we get a more hawkish than expected Fed meeting in just about 48 hours, given the stickiness of recent core inflation and earnings being a little bit better than expected. Now, this could go either way because we are seeing a small uptick in unemployment, which is one of their biggest metrics they're looking at, but also we have to factor in core inflation is important, and the Fed absolutely will also be basing decisions on that. But ultimately, here's the thing. It's very likely, my opinion, I think we'll get another 25 basis point hike. But the giant question is, there's only two options, I believe, at this point. Will we get one more rate hike after this one in 48 hours? Or will it be the pause, the pivot, and the beginning of potentially quantitative easing? That is really the big question here. And it will determine everything because Bitcoin has actually done pretty decent so far over this entire year of 2023 thus far. The first 4 months, the first quarter, the first third of 2023 was actually pretty good for momentum. We've only gone up. But keep in mind, price will get a mega boost, a mega rocket ship upside boost if we actually see a pivot. And so I think, everyone's trying to price that in. Everyone's trying to determine when that is. But it is also worth noting that according to BlackRock, Americans will have to live with high prices for years. So not only is inflation not transitory, get used to it, basically, is what they're saying. We had the Bank of England like a week or two ago also say you should just accept being poorer, right? This is what they're telling their populations, including in Europe, right? England, in the US. They're saying, hey, you're just not going to you're not going to be able to, afford as much for the next couple of years at least. Okay. So what does that mean? I mean, if you're an intelligent person looking at that, the first thing you should be thinking is, okay, well then I have to find another way to make money. I have to find a way to get ahead. I have to find a way to, beat the system basically. And for many people, that is investing in something that the governments cannot print infinitely more of. That is investing in cryptocurrencies. Now, keep in mind, unfortunately, a lot of people over the last couple of weeks, meme coins have been exploding. You can make a lot of money with those, but guys, keep in mind, they're most likely just going to crash as fast as they pump. Right? I love Bitcoin, love Ethereum. There's some top alts that I think have actual value and actual futures. But again, some of these altcoins, actually all of these meme coins are complete baloney, right? Very risky. You can make a ton of money. As we saw like yesterday, somebody just 2 weeks ago invested like $3,000, I think, in like Pepe coin, and now it's worth over $3 million. So there's absolutely like life-changing money in meme coins. In fact, I actually bought some Pepe coin yesterday just because why not? I'm assuming it's either going to go to zero or it's going to go up. I absolutely am ready to lose all of that, as you should be if you invest in meme coins. Yeah, ultimately, I mean, let's be honest. I think meme coins are a phenomenon that won't really be around much longer. Once regulation, once everything comes in, I don't think this phenomenon of meme coins will really last much longer. So, hey, if you want to try and make some money on it in the short term, then, that's if that's what you want to do, then that's what you should do. But when the government's basically telling you, hey, accept not being able to feed your family, right? Accept the fact that you're just not going to have money, then I mean, you should be looking for alternatives. I mean, that's not fair for people that are trying to make ends meet, right? If we take a look here, also the Sharpe ratio is a measure of risk-adjusted return, which considers each asset's volatility. The higher the Sharpe ratio indicates better risk-adjusted performance, and Bitcoin here is leading the way at about 6,344%, the total return here. So absolutely worth noting. I do like Peter Onge here on Twitter talking about this. Earlier, the U.S. had said that the $80 billion that was basically funding the IRS, pulled from the middle class, by the way, to punish billionaires, is actually going to punish the middle class. Right? Big surprise there, right? They're telling you, hey, we're going to actually use this money to audit billionaires. Turns out that's not going to be the case. Anybody believing that was completely bamboozled, 100%, guys. Oh my God. It's always the same story too. It's the rich hate everyone that's not rich, and actually, I guess that sentence sums it up. I mean, that's pretty much all there is to it. So, with that being said, not surprising, they're trying to squeeze every little penny out of every person who isn't, worth tens of millions of dollars, and that will never change. And that's why I invest in Bitcoin. One of the 1,000 reasons, one of the million reasons I invest in Bitcoin. But also, First Republic was acquired by JP Morgan today. Big surprise also with that. You can see First Republic crashed like almost basically 100% over the last month. So complete domination. And the Federal Reserve's recession probability model has reached the highest point since 1982. So over 40 years, the Federal Reserve's recession probability model is at the highest levels since many of you were even born. Since before many of us were even born. So, and I think it's funny when I hear people saying that we're probably going to be going into a recession. Guys, haven't we already been in a recession for like the last year? Just because they changed the definition of it, who cares? We're in a recession. So that's what confuses me. It's like, oh, there's a high probability of a recession. Yeah, I mean, we're already in one. How is this not a recession? But anyway, if we take a look here, Bitcoin's chart right now is trying to flip and hold the $28,000 support as trying to hold it as support. We spent pretty much the entire month of March and the very beginning of April holding or having this as resistance, and now we're trying to flip it as support. So this is a very big short-term flip to watch as we're, again, right underneath 30K, desperately trying to get above that. We're coming in much, much closer, probably only a week or two away until we see a bullish cross here on Bitcoin's 10-day chart, but we actually did just see for the very first time this MACD cross bullish on the 30-day chart, on the monthly chart for Bitcoin. The very last time that we saw this was back in May of 2019. So it's been about 4 years. It's been exactly about 4 years. And during that, when we did get a flip, Bitcoin, remember, rallied a couple 100%. And then we kind of traded sideways. It would have been complete sideways if it wasn't for the pandemic and the crash in March of 2020. But ultimately, again, that was a great time to enter before we got that cross. Now we just got this cross again. So again, I think there's a lot of room for bullish momentum over the next couple of months. But again, as I've been saying, I personally think that if we dip our tip back below 25K, that's something, again, we haven't gotten that yet, but guys, it seems like it's more and more likely every day that we get rejected off 30K. So with that being said, I said I would probably add positions to my longs. I believe my longs are still up roughly about 21,000 USDT in profit. If you're interested, you can also sign up with those links below. But realistically, if we just look at what else is going on in these markets, the stock market today, potentially, again, right, earnings are pretty good. Like the stock market is closer than ever to its highs of the year. It's less than 0.5% to the highest that it's been in all of 2023. So that's crazy. The stock market looks pretty strong. We just got a bearish cross last week, and so far the SPX, stock market looks pretty decent. The DXY, in my opinion, is still trending down towards no man's land. In my opinion, what I believe will be below 100 on the DXY. And even Stanley Druckenmiller himself saying how he's incredibly short the US dollar right now. Weakness, as soon as we begin quantitative easing, just expect massive weakness, which could be within the next couple of weeks. That's the big news. We could get a very good hint of that on Wednesday, which is the most exciting thing. But remember, again, we are seeing a lot of altcoins pump. Even like Pepe is up, 70% today? I bought Pepe over the weekend. I'm already up well over 100% on like a little spot position that I bought, which is crazy to me. And you can actually also get it with the links in my description. Again, I'm not advising anyone to. I think it's a total gamble. I think it's, as I said, I gave a little speech on what I think of meme coins. I don't like meme coins at all. But yeah, I mean, if you can ever make a quick flip into like, doing that, then I mean, that's a thing that some people are worth taking some people think it's worth taking the risk. Some people don't. I put a small amount of money. If I lose it, I don't care, right? That's just what I'm doing. But I mean, ultimately, I kind of hate meme coins actually. I think they give crypto a bad name, and yeah, I don't like them. But hey, here's the thing: doesn't matter how much you hate them; they're not going away just yet. So that's the cold reality of meme coins. But also Bitcoin again continues. If we take a big zoom out, still continues. It's still breaking out of this massive falling wedge that's a year and a half long. The momentum behind this, I think, shouldn't be underestimated. We've been trading sideways for a couple weeks now, so Bitcoin momentum could pick it up at any time. One thing I do want to urge caution to is the potential for some sort of like head and shoulders if Bitcoin fails here, if it gets rejected here. And again, that exactly I think would bring us down a little bit below 25K into that 23K range we've been talking about. Worst case, maybe even a wick down to the high 20Ks, right? That's a realistic possibility. But ultimately, so much of this is literally just depends on the FOMC meeting coming up in just a little under 48 or around 48 hours. But as well, if you're interested in any bonuses or signing up and trading, you make sure to check out the links below. Massive deposit bonuses and sign-up bonuses and free spot trading with the link specifically in my description below. And without any further ado, that's it for me.